Ôi con bé, con bé. Mặt tim. Ồ Đà Lan. Đà Lan là hồi. What's up, guys? I was riding up here. Just had my 4X Happy Shake. You guys can see I posted that shit up on Instagram. 4X Happy Shake, guys, does me right. A 5X is a little unnecessary. At that point, I start to turn into a different species. I riding my bike up here and I see the typical Asian lady like she's exercising like this. Dude, Asians are the funniest when it comes to working out, man. They do. Yes, I'm serious. They do absolutely nothing. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not, but maybe I am. I saw this clip of this fucking Asian dude, and he's sitting in his chair with a fucking sweat towel around his neck. Maybe some of you guys saw this. And he's got a treadmill in front of him, and he just has his 2 feet just walking back and forth on the treadmill while he's sitting down drinking alcohol. You go to the gym and you see people sitting there with their fucking cameras going like this in the mirror, doing this type of stuff to work out, doing this for like 10 minutes. It's fucking ridiculous, man. I digress. In this video, I want to talk about drug withdrawal. I want to talk about, God damn it, I want to talk about the time I didn't sleep for 7 days. Let me say that one more time. I'm going to talk about the time I didn't sleep for 168 hours. That's 168 in Khmer for those dumbasses who don't understand. Yeah, man, so as some of my longtime followers know, viewers, whatever, friends even, you guys know old No Joke over here used to be a bit of a drug abuser. Well, I don't keep that a secret. It's not something I'm ashamed of. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's also it's just something that I experienced, and a lot of other people have as well, of course, all across the world. A lot of great people have died from drug abuse. A lot of people watching this channel right now may or may not have battled drug abuse. Man, I keep getting these little goddamn, what are these, like fucking, what are these things, guys? What are these things? Like pine, they're not pine needles, I don't know what the hell they're called. They're fucking tree strings and I don't like them. They keep getting in my damn shoe. I digress again. Yeah, so basically, let me just cut to it. So, for about the course of like 3.5, maybe 4 months, I was an on and off drug addict. I was an on and off opiate abuser. I was not an on and off opiate abuser, but a steady benzo user. Steady, like every day, all day. Benzos. Now, benzos, let me just explain what benzos are. Benzodiazepines are drugs like Xanax, diazepam, Valium, like they're muscle relaxers, anti-anxiety, they help you sleep, things like that. And they can create, like, the reason I started doing them was because I needed help sleeping. I have very bad insomnia, and I mean, like, I've had it for pretty much my whole adult life. I've had insomnia. And when I say insomnia, I just mean like I have a real problem falling asleep. And once I wake up from sleep, I have a real problem falling back asleep, even if I'm super exhausted. And maybe some of y'all have that problem as well. So I resorted to trying out this stuff here called diazepam, which is a benzo. And you can get 100 of them for like $2 or $3. So you can imagine that's it's an addict's fucking paradise, right? Like you got pills out the ass here, and they're so dirt cheap. And I will talk about that on this video. I mean, listen, like, if you're coming to Cambodia to fucking do drugs, dude, they're here. They're here and readily available, and they're easy to get. Anyways, so I was using benzos, and I was also using opiates. For those of you who don't know much about opiates are drugs like heroin's like the most well-known one. It's the most deadly one, I guess. Then morphine would be number 2. You have things like hydrocodone, oxycodone. I was doing OxyContins like that, dihydrocodone, tramadols, shit like that. Painkillers, feel-good drugs. No more pain, right? Physically or mentally, until the shit runs out. And believe me, when the shit runs out, shit is rough, man. So I had 3 opiate binges throughout this course of my pill abuse, my drug abuse, whatever. And the last one lasted about 2 weeks, and right at the end of that 2-week binge, I realized I was fucking up again, and I knew that I was going to have to bite the bullet. I knew that I was going to have to face the withdrawal. So the first hour, I'm sorry, the first, like the next day after I quit. So I quit on Sunday, and then Monday I felt okay. And then when I woke up on Tuesday, I was fucked. I was completely fucked. I mean, dude, if you've ever had an opiate problem or heroin or anything like that, man, the shit goes to your fucking bones, dude. The shit goes down to your fucking bone marrow, like inside your bone marrow, inside your cells, man. It's very, very hard to detox yourself and to manage that state of being, man, for your mind and body. And during that week, I mean, it was complete hell. It was complete dog shit, as some of you might know. I mean, it was like a 5-day stretch. I was hot, I was cold, I was heavy, I was light, I was hungry, but I wasn't. I was thirsty, but I wasn't. I wanted to stand, but I wanted to sit. I was restless, man. Everything was a constant contradiction, a fucking paradox. And this was a really terrible experience for me, man. And I don't know, like, it definitely made me I guess a better man. I don't know if it made me a better man. It made me a smarter man, I guess, a more informed man. And so during the course of that week, I mean, I'm just super depressed. I have no hope for myself. I'm super sick. Physically, I'm aching. I canceled most of my clients for the week, except for a few that I'm tight with that know that I had a drug issue. It's pretty cool that I have a job like that where I can just kind of be open about my fucking problems and talk about things like that. Fuck teaching English. And definitely go your own route, guys. It's way better than working for some other motherfucker where you have to constantly censor yourself. Anyways, so after about that 5-6 day stretch, I'm like, all right, I'm feeling better. I went on a jog. I finally got some exercise. I was like, all right, I'm feeling okay. I think it's over. I'm like, I'm good. So then a day comes. It was Sunday, and I didn't sleep all Saturday night. So I'm like, all right, well, it's Sunday night now. It's been a whole day since I didn't sleep. For sure, I'm going to get some rest today. For sure, I'm going to get some rest. I didn't. So what happened was, yeah, man, I just couldn't sleep, and I didn't know what the fuck it was. I didn't know what the hell it was, and I just thought maybe it's still the withdrawal, the opiate withdrawal. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe I had too much coffee. I don't know what what the fuck the problem is. Maybe I'm just not tired. I don't know. So then another night passes, and like I look at my clock just to see what time it is, and I had looked at it at bedtime. It was like 9:30 or whatever, maybe around 10. And I look at it again, and it says 2:30. And I'm just like, what? 5 hours have gone by, and I've just been laying here in the darkness, like tossing and turning, just desperately, like begging for sleep, begging the universe for sleep. So I just say, fuck it. I just, I turn on my computer, I start watching YouTube and shit, I start smoking, started watching these making of documentaries with like No Country for Old Men. Goodfellas was a great one. The Making of Saving Private Ryan was awesome. I enjoy shit like that. I like stuff like that. And I had a client that morning at 6 a.m. So it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm baked as fuck. I'm watching YouTube, just doing nothing, just taking it easy. And I'm like, my client's coming. It's all good. I haven't slept anyway. I'm already wired. Like I felt wired, actually. I felt fucking wired. And that Tuesday ends, and I'm thinking, man, definitely gonna get some sleep tonight. It's been 2 days I haven't slept. Of course, this has never happened before. Of course I'm gonna sleep. So I look at my alarm clock after not being able to sleep, and it's about 1:30 in the morning. And then I'm like, all right, maybe I'll try a little bit more. And then I look again, it's like 2:30 in the morning, maybe around 3. And I just do the same thing again. I just kind of get up. I start drinking water. I just kind of start my day. Now, keep in mind, during this entire 2-week period, week number 1 of the opiate withdrawal, week number 2 of the benzo, which I'll get to here in a second, like I made no videos. I made no videos at all. So there's like a big 2.5 week span where I made no videos a couple of months ago. And this was like the last week of September, basically, I think. It was like, actually, the week I did not sleep, it was the first week of October. It was the first week of October I got no sleep, actually. And so basically by like day 3 or 4 is when I just accept it. I just accept that something is wrong. I'm obviously going through something, I don't know what it is. So I start looking up benzo withdrawal, because I think to myself, well, this whole insomnia thing started after I stopped taking pills. So it's most likely has to do with that. By the way, just so you all know, benzodiazepines, you're not supposed to like, even if you're taking a small amount every day, you still don't want to quit cold turkey. Because what happens is you can get really bad seizures, you can even die, you can be hospitalized or whatever, and of course you can get serious insomnia, which is what I had. I didn't have any seizures, but I had twitches. It was weird. By like day 3, I'd be laying in bed, just trying to chill, just doing nothing, just hoping I could finally fucking rest. And my arm would just twitch, or like my leg would jolt like that. And it was like a sharp jolt. It didn't hurt, but it was like a disturbing sensation. It was a very unsettling, unnerving, and it kind of like pissed me off a little bit. It happened not because it hurt, but because it was just scary. It was scary that it started happening to my body, and I had no control over it. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I didn't know what part of my body that the shock was going to be in, and I knew that it was because I'm not getting any sleep. And I looked up benzo withdrawal symptoms, and it's like, yeah, you can be awake, and the longest case of somebody awake was around like 11 days. 11 days, and at that point you can die. I also researched how long do you have to be awake without sleeping, well, be awake, before your body just shuts down and dies. And it's like, there's been cases where people have stayed awake for 14 days. There's this boy, I forget his name, I forget the date, I forget all the facts and figures, but there was a high school boy many like generations ago. He did this high school experiment for the science fair, and he wanted to stay awake for 14 days and not sleep one bit. And he did it, and he like documented his experiences and all that type of stuff. And like within the next 10 minutes after it was over, he fell asleep for, I think it was 9 hours. It said some shit like there was like 10 or 11 hours, whatever. Anyways, by day 3 or 4, by day 5, I started thinking like I'm dying. Like I really thought I was gonna die. I think that was largely paranoia, because I started getting paranoid as well. I started thinking that everything and everybody around me was trying to make me stay awake. Like even objects, like I thought they were trying to make me stay awake too. I was starting to trip out, man. And keep in mind too, like during this state of mind, I train clients. I mean, I didn't train as many because I canceled a few because of how I felt, but the certain ones I did train, and they could tell the difference. I mean, I told them, I was like, look, I haven't slept in 5 days. Like, this is what's happening. I didn't tell all of them why. Obviously, if they see this video, it's too late. I don't really care. I mean, I'm totally open about my drug abuse in the past. I'm totally open about pretty much anything. And yeah, man. So I got to the point where I started seeing black spots. Like I'd just be sitting down, and of course, when I'm sitting down, like this, my state of mind is obviously not focused. It's not focused. Like imagine like you have an image, and then behind that image there's another one, and while you're looking at image number 1, it's kind of translucent and you can see a bit through it, but the image in the back keeps shaking and wobbling, and it's not still, it's not steady. If you guys can pick up what I'm putting down, that's kind of what my state of mind was like. It was there, and it existed, and it was present, but it was very shaky, wobbly, hard to control, hard to manage, hard to just kind of like stop, if that makes sense. It was not conducive to anything. It was not conducive to making videos. It was not conducive to creative output. It was not conducive to physical output. It was a terrible condition, and I started seeing like black spots, or like blue or golden spots in the corner, and of course I look and they weren't there. And one of the most fucked up things that I would do, like at different points throughout the day, is I had this thing that I wanted to do, where I wanted to go inside the bathroom and I wanted to stare at myself and make fucked up faces for about 15 to 20 minutes at a time. And I would shut the door, of course, and I would just like take my eyes, and I'd take my nose and my mouth, and I just kind of like play with myself, play with my face, play with my head and my hair, and just like make these fucked up, these weird faces. And that, like, that's a glimpse into how gone I was, man. Like I was there, and some of the people around me couldn't even tell that I had this insomniac. I don't know what you fucking call it, man. What's the word I'm looking for? Let's see. What's an adjective for? I guess insomniac journey. Would that the adjective for insomnia? Does insomnia have an adjective? An adjective? Pardon me. I know, like, somebody who has insomnia would be an insomniac, but what does it mean to be insomniatic? I don't fucking know. Shoot me an email, nojokestriking@gmail.com. Yeah, man, so that was a crazy experience. Finally, I ended up getting some sleep, obviously, after like it was like 7 days, man. It was a legit week, guys. It was a legit week. And I had every excuse. I mean, I really did. Like I had a medical excuse to go to the pharmacy and get more pills and just hopefully go back into, fuzzy land and just relax. I thought about it, man. I'm not gonna lie, I did, and like, I'm not saying I did take pills, but I did think about it, and I'm really proud of myself that I did not go back to the fucking pharmacy, man, because I legitimately had a reason to. I mean, I didn't sleep in 7 days. You get brain damage from that. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but like, obviously it wasn't measured, but I for sure had some kind of measurable amount of brain damage. I'm sure it hasn't been measured, but I know for sure that there had to have been. If you don't sleep for more than a couple days, man, your brain cells have a hard time repairing themselves. Or not repairing themselves. What the fuck am I talking about? Your brain has an issue with basically being healthy and working the way it needs to. And one of the ways to help that is to eat lots of healthy fats. Eat lots of healthy fats. In other words, like medium chain triglycerides like MCT oil. You can find that in like palm oil. You can find that in coconut oil. Things like avocado oil, peanut oil, olive oil, grass-fed butter, eggs, fish, things like that. Those types of fatty acids are very good for your brain. And I obviously had a shit ton of that during that point, but the fact that I wasn't sleeping and repairing and resting and rejuvenating myself with sleep, I definitely got some kind of damage, I'm sure, or at least maybe what, I don't fucking know, guys. Either way, it was a terrible experience, man. It was an absolute doldrum in my life. For those of you who don't know what doldrum means, it means like just like if you're sailing a boat out in the ocean and you hit the doldrums, that means that you hit an area where there's no current, there's no wind, there's no airflow. It's just, you're just sitting there and stagnant and you're not moving forward. You're simply just, you're just sitting there. And that's kind of what that point in my life was, that whole 2-week withdrawal. Like I didn't progress in any way. I didn't better myself as a person. I didn't really, I guess I learned some new shit, especially about what drugs can do to you, especially if you stop taking them after you abuse the fuck out of them. Just to give you guys an idea of how much I was doing, like a standard dose of diazepam, like something that a normal person would take and it would affect them really hard, is 10 milligrams. It's a standard pill of like Valium or any kind of like Xanax, like any Benzo, usually around 10 milligrams. And that's usually enough to make any person like have the desired effect. And to be fair, that's what I did the first time. I just took one. And then next day I'm like, all right, I kind of like that. I kind of felt wavy. I kind of felt a little woozy. I like that. Especially when I smoke weed with it. So I'm going to take 2 tonight. And it just went on. And eventually throughout this 5-month period I was abusing benzos, I was taking up to 10 to 15 a day. So up to 150 milligrams a day. I would snort them. I would pop them. I would put them in my butt. I would just straight up chew them up. I'd put them under my tongue. The only thing I haven't done as far as drug use goes is shoot. I've never injected anything. I've snorted, I've popped, I've eaten, I've done all that. But is there any other way I've done drugs before? I don't know, guys. Anyways, man, yeah, so that's my story about staying up. I'm gonna be doing another nerd night in about a month or so here in Phnom Penh. It's where I'm gonna do like a little power, like a presentation sort of. It's like a 6.5 minute presentation, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to break it down in a little more detail, show some pictures and shit like that. So that'll be kind of cool, man. Check my time. I'm about 20 minutes. So yeah, guys, just one last thing I want to say. If you guys want to see more of me online, you want to see a bit of a different style, maybe. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still me. It's still me, but it's a bit of a different style of. I don't know. You guys tell me. It's not even for me to say. I have a new radio show called The Bholeshow, and it's an online radio show based off of Primo Sounds. It's actually based out of the West Coast of the United States, and I have a spot on there. I'm doing 2 shows a week right now. One's live, one's pre-recorded. If you guys are interested in listening to it, you can check out my YouTube channel, just simply called The B-Hole. You can check that out, which you guys can find all that on my channel. I'll leave the info in the description. And if you want to check me out on SoundCloud, look up Primo Sounds, Premo Sounds on SoundCloud, and you can find my shit there, y'all. Anyways, pleasure speaking to you. I'll leave all my social media contacts in the description below if you guys want to hit me up. All right, y'all, pleasure speaking to you. Just say no to drugs, and if you do get into drugs, understand that you're going to either have to come off of them and face the withdrawal, or they're going to kill you. Simple as that. Peace.